I welcome you all to Interview with Inspiration, an initiative by Skill City Discovery. Skill City Discovery is an e-learning platform and it is becoming the fastest destination for learners. I am Nidhi Jain, working as a public relation officer at Skill City Discovery. Today, we have with us Ms. Rabia Bhatia, Director, Producer, and CEO of ED Web Studio Channel. I welcome you here, ma'am.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you so much once
And the field
again.
is I'm asking you to introduce yourself. So please say tell us more about your journey and how you started.
Sure, Nidhi. First of all, I would like to thanks once again the skills rediscovery for inviting me on this platform to share my success journey. I don't know whether I'm successful or not, but yes, I am happy what I am doing. This is what I would like to share here today. So, coming to the introduction, okay, from my professional background, I am a working professional for last 20 years and have worked with the corporate sector for almost 13 years, you can say, and now associated with the education sector and working on different areas. Working as a skills trainer, working as a mentor, career growth advisor, then working towards the recruitment and the hiring for the schools, for the education sector, and the not last but not the least, branding and PR. So I'm into branding and PR for the schools also, as well as I'm into branding and PR for the principals, directors, chairmen, as well as corporate individuals. So, this innovation of doing a personal branding, especially for the principals and the directors and the corporate individuals, this came to my mind during the last lockdown. We have been into lockdown for almost been no 1.5 year, you can say. So this innovation was done in during the last lockdown because everybody wanted to have a digital platform, and they wanted to be digitally equipped with all the parameters and everything. But having said that, something was missing. If I say something was missing, see, there's a lot of competition, you can say, whether it comes to organizations or you come to the competition between the freelancers or you talk about the competition between the corporate professionals. People are corporate trainers. There are multiple corporate trainers across the globe. There are multiple life skills trainers across the globe. There are multiple, teachers trainer, schools, this vocational trainer, voice and accent trainer. So the need of the hour was to make yourself digitally highlighted. Highlighted in the sense, it's not that you are selling yourself, but highlighting yourself means you are showcasing what you are doing and what you are good at. So this is where I started my Ed Web Studio channel, which is a part of mixture of media, trainings, and then recruitment and branding and PR. So this is about my entrepreneurship or the journey, professional journey, and how I started my online venture.
Okay. Ma'am, can I know when did it strike to you to get involved in what you're doing currently?
Yes. Okay. Very good question, Didi, again. After working with the corporate sector for 12 years, 12 to 13 years, I was like, what I'm doing and where I'm heading towards. It was so difficult for me to decide whether I should continue with the corporate sector or I should just take a break. Why? Okay. We all know corporate life is very hectic, right? Morning 9 to there is no end to the story. It's 24 by 7. You have to be on your toes, whether you are at home, whether you are at in night also, while sleeping also, you can dreams about the boss email and the boss messages or some emails from the head of the department. Okay, I need this or I need that. So you are actually just alert with those messages, with those emails. But then you really get the mental peace or that mental happiness while doing all that. If you ask me, I never got that mental peace and mental happiness wherein I was, my earnings were huge because everybody knows the corporates are the paymaster. Every corporate sector pays you, I mean, a handsome amount of salaries. But then that happiness was missing. Relax. I was not able to relax. I was just not able to get that, oh my God, calm. I was not able to calm down. Every time I was thinking about the work, 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 and I was just not able to give any time to my family, to me, myself, or to somebody else, right? So there I thought of taking a break and doing something productive, which is not only for myself, but for the society as well. Because, there is a time when you think that you have to give back to society as well, whatever you have learned till now. Okay, now the entire journey, my professional journey changes. Here the change comes in, and I joined the education sector, and I've been associated with the education sector for last almost 6 years. My journey started with one of the renowned school in Noida as a PR. Worked there for 1.5 year, and then got a wonderful opportunity with another renowned education group as a HR and PR head. I grabbed the opportunity because everybody wants to earn good salary. Everybody wants to have the wonderful kind of designation with all of that tags and everything. I switched over to the next job. Still, still that piece of happiness was missing. That piece of happiness was missing. I thought, no, it's not meant for me. I am not meant for all this. Where I was not able to give myself an identity, though I was working behind the scenes for that particular group, and that particular group gained lot of fame and name, everything. But then where was I? My contribution, fine, I was contributing a lot towards that, but where was I? My identity gone missing, right? I wanted to have my own identity. To be honest, Nidhi, uh, people say that at the age of 40, it's too late to get your own identity, or to get your own, to start your own venture, or to start something of your own. I don't think so, to be honest. I really don't think so. Today, what I am, I'm seriously very happy what I'm doing today, as I started earlier also. It gives me satisfaction, it gives me happiness, it gives me peace, mental peace. Because I started creating my own identity, which got missing in these years. And this is how I started working what I am doing today. Whether it is hiring people, whether it is creating policies, or whether it is empowering others with my own skill set, or whether it is mentoring people so that they should be motivated, they should feel encouraged, and I should be the inspiration for all of them. This purpose of my life changed my entire professional journey. And for last almost 4 years, I have been working as a self-employed person. I'm working from my own space. And to be honest, I have taught in the government schools also. I have taught in NGOs also. I have catered to private schools also. And yes, as I stated earlier also, that I have started with this innovative thing where I am doing everything online now, be it hiring, be it recruitment, be it the trainings, be it the mentoring, or be it the branding and PR. So it's all online because I have a mission to work towards those sustainable development goals as well. When you work towards one goal of life, you keep on going on and nothing can stop you, basically. Whether this lockdown period, whether this COVID, or whether my own personal challenges life, I do not stop. I'm unstoppable. So I think I'm able to answer your question.
Yes, definitely. Since we're talking about your profession, can you please share what were the challenges that you faced in withstanding the complexities of your profession or industry?
Once again, Nidhi, very beautiful question. Very, very beautiful question. Oh my God, challenges. I think, Nidhi, you also, or at this age, also, you might be able to understand that challenges are a part of our lives now. Without challenges, you just can't go ahead, not even for a single minute in your day. there's something or the other is waiting for you. Okay, now this challenge or that challenge, right? For example, this lockdown is itself is a big mountain for all of us for last 1.5 year, but still we are able to cope up, right? We are still able to go on, and then nothing is stopping us. This lockdown is not able to stop us. So, challenges for me, there was a time when I was like, you know, I won't say that I was physically weak, but yes, these challenges used to take a toll on my head, and I was not able to move on. There was a time when life got stuck. But at the same point of time, being a mother, I thought that if I give up now, how will I be able to motivate or inspire my own kids? Right? I have to be a role model and inspiration for my own kids that yes, our mother never gave up. Whatever she faced, whatever problems she faced in her life, she did not ever give up. So I think while whether it was health issues that I was struggling with the health problems, or I was suffering with some relationship problems, or whether I was suffering with the job related problems, I always thought of going on, never gave up. Otherwise, I think what I am today, I would not have been today. I faced a lot of challenges while switching over my job from corporate sector to education sector. Why? Because you understand the difference between the corporate sector and the education sector. There is a huge cut down on your salary packages. And when you are earning, you have loads of responsibilities, you have to think about these challenges as well, right? But then I am really thankful to my family who always have been a support system to work at the back of my side, and they've always supported me, they've always cooperated me, and they've always pushed me to go ahead, just to go ahead. Whatever challenges you have, we are there to support you. So I think challenges, I there was a time when I said that I used to become very weak, mentally weak. But yes, the life experiences has made me very strong and courageous. That nothing is impossible. When you have that mission in your life, and you have that goal in your life, nothing is impossible for you.
Yes. As we know, you're director of this channel that you run. Can we know what does it offer, or what was the start of it? How did you come up with? Elaborate on that those points.
Wow, very wonderful question, Nidhi. Okay, I was very, how do I say this? I mean, I was very cautious while starting this online venture, little hesitant also that I have to start this online venture. That too, on though I'm self-employed for last 5 years, and I'm catering to the education sector. But starting this online venture came to my mind during the lockdown period. Can you imagine that? Can you even imagine? I mean, I never dreamt about it that I will start something of my own. That too during this kind of scenario where everything is kind of half closed, people are losing jobs, and half of us are unemployed, and difficult situations. It's a toil on our health also, it's a toil on our mental peace also, but still I went ahead. And that too, how I started, I think we all have heard that phrase that uh, you have somebody, a support system, right? Or every time, all the time, whether it's your family, whether it's your friend, whether it's your relationships, or your spouse, or your kids. So as I said earlier, my family is a great support system. But I have a friend who has always supported me, and always pushed me, and indirectly always encouraged me that yes, I can do anything. When it comes to my professional life, I can do anything and everything. So I think that friend of mine was a great support for me. He kept on telling me to start, and he's there to start, and he's there at with my in my on my support. Though it's, at times you don't need any kind of monetary support or financial support, but a mental support is very much required. So I would say that he is that kind of support. When I'm emotionally weak, when I'm mentally weak, he's there to for me always. He's always there for me. That yes, I am there. You don't have to worry. You can do anything. So that's how I started this online venture of Ed Web Studio channel. And I'm very happy the way I'm progressing towards, my success, towards my goal of life. I am able to help people in the profile enhancement through my online venture. I'm able to help the society. I'm catering towards the schools, as I said. So I'm connected to a lot of social sectors as well, to NGOs, non-profit organizations, which are catering to the schools for some in some or the other way. And I'm able to connect those social sectors to the schools in on through my online venture. So what I feel, when you do good, you're creating good causes for you. And that is how I'm able to do what I thought of doing. I think before the lockdown, I'm now able to do all that. And I'm thankful. I have loads of gratitude towards all the people who have always supported me, who have supported me during the lockdown. It's all the principals, all my mentors, all my leaders, and that friend of mine and my family as well. So I'm working towards the trainings. I'm working towards the, school activities, students' activities, though everything online. Because as I said, I'm also working towards a goal of collaboration across the globe and a peace and harmony in the society and spreading happiness amongst them, every individual. And the most important part, that we have a mission of completing the sustainable development goals by 2030. So my online venture is helping me towards that particular side also, because you don't have to travel anywhere, right? It's all online, controlling pollution, controlling social distance, maintaining social distancing as well as helping each other to grow as within their own potential, and empowering kids also. I am empowering the youth also with my own knowledge sharing. That's how I'm doing.
Okay. Then, as you were saying that you're into SDGs and helping kids, can you tell us how is it different, or what different cause it provides when compared with your contemporaries?
Okay, very good question, Nidhi. I mean, you have such beautiful questions. I was so excited when I got the list of questions. I said, "Wow, I something different, something unique. I would be talking on." So, Nidhi, as I said, it's all online, right? I have a goal of collaborating with the corporate sectors. I have a goal of collaborating with the colleges, universities, so that I can help the schools for their students' placement in the colleges through online setup, right? And once their journey completes in those colleges, they should be able to get the job placement, and that whole process of hiring in the corporate sector, it should be online. And the only thing which is physical is when the student goes ahead and starts working in that particular corporate office. So that would be physical, rest all will be online. So this is my major focus, so that there should be less use of conveyance, less use of transportation, controlling pollution, and the air should be purified without any pollution.
Shall we move to next question then?
Yes, dear. I hope I'm able to answer your question, what you
Yes,
wanted to know.
yes, definitely. Please share what your current profession or industry's scenario is.
Wow. Seriously, okay. If you talk about I think it is on its journey. It is on its journey. I won't say that I'm able to achieve what I wanted to achieve, but yes, it's not even 10% what I am able to do till now. It'll take some time, Nidhi, because looking at the kind of scenarios we are in, the schools are half functional, the colleges are half functional, the corporate sector is half functional. So I'm not able to, help the way I wanted to help. I really wanted to help the people who are unemployed for to get them job in the best availability, in the best suitable scenario, in the best suitable profiles. For example, if somebody is catering to the school, they should be able to get the jobs in the school. For somebody who is catering to the corporate sector, they should be able to get the job in the corporate sector. But still, I'm able to manage those things because I am collaborating with different people, so that once we are through this complete lockdown and this pandemic situation, people should be happy if they have collaborated with me, and I should be able to help them in my not 100%, I would rather say in a 200% short scenario, so that I should be able to make sure that they have got the job, they are employed now, students are getting nurtured in the right way, teachers are getting proper training, and as I said, I really want to raise more leaders, I really want to raise more people, so that those people are able to help the society and not only able to help themselves. So it is on its way, but it is going to take a long way, because yes, we never thought about this lockdown, we never dreamt about this. It's a historic thing, it's become a history now. Not even history, we are still living this journey, and maybe our next generation will read it in their history subject, that yes, this came in our lives as a. So yes, I'm sure that I'll be able to achieve my goal for sure. It's all
Uh,
positivity. That's all. We have to be little positive, and we have to be little not hopeful, I would rather say. We have to be little positive, and we have need to have that faith and conviction in ourselves, in what we are doing. Because if you are doing everything with ethics, work ethics, there are no integrity issues, and you are actually working towards the society, working towards the humanity, I'm sure you will achieve your goal.
as we were talking about the COVID situation taking toll on everyone's work and profession, what do you think the lessons should be, or should the education fraternity draw from this situation? The main lessons or the important thing?
Very wonderful, very wonderful. The most important learnings of this COVID situation is, we already have this new education policy in place, and schools are trying to implement it. And I'm hopeful that it will be implemented in the next 5 years. Uh, but the great learning for the students and for each individual, Nidhi, whether it is a student, whether it is a parent, or whether it is an educator, or whether it is a corporate individual, is most important factor is the compassion. We need to understand the mental state of mind of each and every individual. If we have to work towards our own business, if we have to earn money, it should not be at the cost of the other person's mental peace, right? We have different stakeholders, like schools have the parents, schools have the clients, schools have the vendors, schools have the students. So they need to understand the psychology of their student, the psychology of their parents, the psychology of their other stakeholders as well. Because it is not only to earn profit, or but yes, everybody has to earn their bread and butter, because without their bread and butter they can't even live their own life. It's a necessity of life. There are certain basic needs of the life which we have to fulfill through earnings only, but those earnings should not be at the cost of somebody's happiness. We need to understand that we have to be very empathetic towards the other individual. We have to understand that it's a scenario. We need to collaborate with different people and learn a lot of things, because without learning you cannot grow, and without everybody's till the time you're not together, you can't grow alone. These are not the time that if you will grow alone, no. None of us can grow alone. It has to be a team effort. It has to be a collaborative learnings and togetherness, something called togetherness, whether it's a relationship, professional relationship, or whether it is a personal relationship. We need to give importance to each and every life. Every life is valuable. Every individual is important. Everybody has their own skills. And when you combine those skills, obviously you'll be able to take a move towards your mission and towards the happiness of each and every person.
In the start, you mentioned about national education policy. So, what is your take on it? Can we know it?
Yes, my take on it is that the students should not be only given the theoretical education, but the practical education as well. And yes, our educational department has very well structured this NEP, where now students will be having a practical knowledge about the real life scenarios and would be able to understand better the moral values of life. So it is not about the theory part or the numbers or the degree, but the curriculum which talks about the practicalities of life. Projects, which is a team-based projects, which you have to, when you work together, you learn better, you grow better. So the creativity of your own mindsets. As I said, everybody is creative, everybody has their own unique talent, but we need to give space to each and every person, whether it is a student or whether it is your team member, that they should be able to create something of their own, and they can use their own creativity skills in that space of freedom. If we won't allow them to use their own mindsets, how will they use their own creativity? Are they bound to use your minds? They can't read your minds, right? They can only read their own minds. So let them use their own creativity, let them use their own minds and create something new for the society. Our society needs new things for the happiness, for the to fulfill the SDG goal 2030. So everybody has to work towards that mission together. So this is what my take on NEP is.
You're involved in providing or looking for employability or employments for students. So, what is your suggestion to the students who are facing employability challenges?
Wonderful questions, Nidhi. I mean, it's such a beautiful and such a need of our question, actually. My suggestion to the student is to be ready with plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, till plan Z. If somebody is into medical stream, they should not only focus on becoming a doctor or something related to the medical field. They should focus on doing something creative. Start something doing like a content writer with respect to the medical, their own stream. We do not have those kind of content writers as of now. So use your creativity to write something, make your own blog pages, become a YouTuber to talk about the medical facilities, to talk about what is missing in our medical facilities in our own society, so that you can raise your voices and somebody able to take you on board because of your that creative skill set. Not only work together as a doctor, we have loads of doctors, and to be honest, I think doctors are making money, Nidhi, this time. In this scenario, doctors are the actual people who are making money. So I think we already have loads of doctors. Thus, the students need to be a little more creative that how to go ahead using the medical stream and become something different apart from this doctor role. So their creativity can do wonders, actually, right? When they will start talking about how medical facilities, share the share on the YouTube, share on the blogs, the first aid for the COVID, first aid for the cancer, first aid for the these health issues, major health issues, like you have the cancer, you have TBs, you have leproscopy. There are so many health issues, major health concerns. So why can't somebody go ahead and do their own creativity and start writing content on the first stage for required for these kind of symptoms when we have these symptoms, rather than immediately rushing or rather than getting panic. Oh my God, this thing has happened or that thing has happened. Use your mind. Don't get panic. Otherwise, the patient will get panicked. So the our students can do wonders if they use their own creative skills after having that practical knowledges and creative knowledge, the theoretic knowledges. So I just shared one example. Yes, a commerce student can do something different on the using their own streams and skill set.
We'll wrap this interview with the last question. How much do you think the education system is blended with skill, or how far are we in reaching that stage?
Wonderful. Okay, to be honest, Nidhi, our education system was never lacking with the skills knowledge, but yes, our curriculum was made in such a way that it has to be always degrees and the marks and the theory knowledge. And okay, now the student has not got 70%. There was a peer pressure, there was a teacher's pressure, there was school pressure. Oh my God, our student has got 70%. Our result has come down from 100% to 70%. Why? I don't know, because it's not the schools, it wasn't the school's problem, and it was not their own. The students were not at fault at that point of time, but the curriculums were made in such a way that we were all going through the same scenario. Now the scenario is totally different, and we are empowering our kids with the skills, vocational skills. We are empowering our kids with the life skills knowledge, with the moral values. So I'm sure things will be more better. Things will become beautiful. Not soon, but yes, we can think about 5 to 10 years later, because it will take that much of time, Nidhi. The lockdown has actually impacted the society in a big way, in a big way, actually. So it is going to take some time, but yes, we are on our journey and we have already taken the steps ahead. There are two positive sides, actually.
Thank you, ma'am, for all your insights that you have shared today, and thank you for your time as well. We are really grateful to have you here today.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you. It was so wonderful to interacting with you on this platform. And I look forward for more my, this interview to get the link so that I can share with my own contacts. And yes, I would like to wish you all the very best. You're
Thank
doing
you so
wonderful things. The skills